All right, everyone, welcome back to this segment on the North and South nodes. In this video, we are going to talk about if you have your North node in the 9th house or Sagittarius, which means that your South node is in the 3rd house or Gemini. So this, in my opinion, is the most important part of the chart. Usually in the past, I was just doing this in personal readings, but I felt like this is far too important not to make videos of and share. So hopefully you do find this to be helpful. Now, down in the comment section, there is a birth chart calculator, which will show your nodes if you don't know your house or sign with those. I do recommend watching these videos for your house. For your nodal houses, that's going to be the most personal, but then in addition to that, you can also watch it for your sign. So do check that out if you want to see which houses and signs your nodes are in. The North node is the N looking horseshoe in the chart, and the South node is the U looking horseshoe in the chart. So once you have those identified, then hopefully you do have your North node here in either the 9th house or Sagittarius, or your South node in the 3rd house or Gemini. Okay. So why is this stuff so important? Well, essentially the North and South nodes are showing the life path side to things. What you'll likely find is that throughout your life experiences, whatever it's about, career, home, relationships, whatever, there is this undercurrent to those experiences that the nodes are showing. And the undercurrent is really the free will side to the experience. And so as we become more aware of the free will component, it really helps us work with the energy of that particular experience or time period. And so super helpful, because usually astrology is just showing more predetermined stuff. But once we become aware of the nodes, then we learn more about how to work with this stuff. All right, so with this, let's start with your South node. Let's look at it from the past. Now, the South node often represents past life, if you believe in that. I'm going to use the analogy just to describe this. But let's say in a past life, there was likely a lot of emphasis on your practical side. You maybe been like maybe a writer or maybe like an engineer, someone that had really used like your left side of your brain to really figure things out, either mathematically, very practically, or maybe if it was more on the language side of it, really developing like communication and writing, and probably a lot dealing with sharing and exchanging with others. Maybe it was business, maybe it was trade. It's very, very practical in the sense of things that, are verifiable in life, right? Like scientific, like rational, right? A lot of this emphasis here from the past. And the reason this is important now is that there is likely this bit of oscillation taking place with it, where one side of you likely seeks this out because it's comfortable from the past, right? Seeks out that wanting to understand things, the wanting to see things practically, and also maybe seeking out like matters like communication or something like this, right? Needing more of it, wanting it, feeling like it's missing. And so there's this default pattern towards that sort of practical stuff. And so the key here is to become conscious of that side of yourself that's pulling towards this. And then to practice non-attachment to it. Because as you practice non-attachment to the information, to the ideas, to what you're communicating, to this practical stuff, that non-attachment is going to help free up this area. Free your mind, you could say, free your perspective, free those areas, whatever, again, it might be about. So really good. Non-attachment, very, very important there with the South node. And now the other side to it is that there's this side of you that may want nothing to do with the practical stuff and the rational, scientific, verifiable stuff. It wants to go all into the more abstract realm. It wants to go into adventure and philosophy and ideals, right? More into the right side of the brain type of stuff. And so there's this push and pull between this. And so what's going to sort of now the other side to it in terms of what's going to help bring balance here is while also practicing non-attachment to the practical, rational stuff, it's about now in this life exploring and learning about expanding your horizons, all right? And you've likely already done this, but continuing to do so. So anything you can do to make mistakes with and learn about, like travel, philosophy, astrology is a great example. spirituality in general, religion, anything that expands your worldview and your belief systems, right, is ninth house. And also listening to that spirit for life, letting that guide you. It's a fire sort of energy, so it is about listening to that spirit, maybe adventurousness, right, the inspirations, which leads you to your purpose and direction and things like this. But now keep in mind that we never fully realize that purpose. We never really realize the, complete belief system or philosophy, or, get to a point where we're happy completely with travel or something like this. It's always going to seem like there's more. And so it's important to know that there's really no satisfaction in this stuff either. The purpose of it is to, again, bring balance back to your practical life, the more immediate life, because this is where you're rooted. This is, again, what your life path is about, bringing balance here to this stuff. Again, either the communication or the sharing and exchanging with others or neighbors or this kinds of stuff. And so to do that, though, it will require, paradoxically, you to expand your horizons. Because in order for us to really have a good practical life, we do have to have a very good abstract life. And, we have to be willing to see things from new perspectives, open our horizons, learn more abstract, larger picture things, access that spirit that expands us. Because it's really only through that do we really gain any real practical knowledge, right? That's the paradox. Like a good example of this is like in science, like where everything is verifiable. What starts the whole process is a hypothesis. It's something that hasn't been verified yet. It's just an idea, and usually a very far out one, a very abstract one that's outside of the model that's pre-existing. So this is kind of the thing here is, disrupting the model, disrupting the sort of systems of understanding to expand those beliefs and access that spirit for life. And then all of that is feeding back into your practical life, your more immediate life, right? This is where your life path is helping you balance. So what you'll notice is that as an undercurrent to these life experiences, there likely is a bit of a push and pull. Like with any choice or any experience, especially major ones, you'll notice that there's the practical choice you can make, and then the more abstract or expansive or adventurous choice, right? So one involving your more immediate environment, one involving more expansive environment, one involving something that's a little bit more rational, makes more practical sense, and then something that's a little more abstract or maybe just kind of like a feeling, a spirit feeling of something, you know what I mean? One side of you may be towards writing, another side maybe towards like publishing. It's a lot of different ways here, but one is the more immediate practical and the other one is the more abstract expansive. So by becoming aware of both and practicing non-attachment to the practical and learning and expanding upon the abstract and adventurous, and feeding all of that back into your practical life because it's what it needs, and maintaining those roots there with your practical life, that is who you are, is I think a great way of working with the nodes. All right, so hopefully you found this to be helpful. Now, let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section. And on the page is a 20% discount if you want to look specifically at your chart, because of course this is still very general. And to look at your specific life path, obviously, you need to look at the other planets and things. So do check that out if you'd like to take a deeper look. But thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.